The Beesbreeze of Honeyholt. Beekeepers, arrogant knights, proud council members, noble champions, and blind old lords. This is the short but sweet history of House Beesbury. Buzz. During the Age of Heroes, when the first men roamed Westeros, a mythical king arose, Garth Greenhand, who sired half the noble houses in the Reach. One of his daughters was Ellen Eversweet, a fair maid who loved honey so much that she ventured into the mountain hive of the King of Bees and forged a pact. In exchange for honey, she promised to care for his descendants for all time, becoming the first ever beekeeper. Thus was House Beesbury born. They became vassals of the Hightowers, holding the seat of Honeyholt next to the Honeywine River. Their sigil displays 3 yellow beehives on a black pail on a field pally black and yellow. Their words denote their link to beekeeping. Beware our sting. They likely rose to nobility and wealth due to selling honey, but the details are vague. In fact, not much Beesbury history is known at all, but we do have some golden honeycombs of knowledge here and there. During the reign of King Maegor Targaryen, the faith of the Seven were in open rebellion. Sir Dickon Flowers, the bastard of Beesbury, belonged to the King's Landing chapter of the Noble and Puissant Order of the Warrior's Sons. In 42 AC, his Grand Captain, Sir Daemon Morrigan, challenged the Targaryen tyrant to a trial of 7. His 6 champions were Sir Lyle Bracken, Sir Harris Hawpe, Sir Aegon Ambrose, Sir Willem the Wanderer, Sir Garibald of the Seven Stars, and of course Sir Dickon Flowers himself. They fought against Maegor the Cruel and his 6 champions, Sir Bernard Brune, Sir Rayford Rosby, Sir Guy Lothston, Sir Bram of Buckhull, Lord Lucifer Massey, and the venerable Dick Bean. By the end of the night, the bastard of Beesbury had been slain. But this wouldn't be the only time a child of Honeyholt would fight in a trial by combat. During the reign of Jaehaerys the Conciliator, there lived a handsome knight named Sir Braxton Beesbury. He was an arrogant young man nicknamed Stinger, rumoured to have fathered 2 bastards before he even turned 19. He became close friends with the king's daughter, Princess Sarah Targaryen, and her 4 other companions, Alice Turnberry, Perianne Moore, Jonah Mooton, and Red Roy Connington. They were an inseparable sextet, drinking, dancing, hunting, hawking, and sailing as best of friends, and engaging in other activities that were more than friendly. Stinger slept with all 3 of his female companions, and encouraged Jonah and Roy to do the same. One of them even got Alice Turnberry pregnant. This was all done in secrecy, and the few servants who knew had their tongues threatened by Stinger. Unfortunately, everything unravelled when the 3 lads were found drunk at the Blue Pearl brothel, laughing at the lack-witted fool, Tom Turnip, and pressuring him to sleep with whores. They were apprehended by the City Watch and promptly blamed Princess Sarah for coming up with the idea. When Perianne and Alice were questioned by Queen Alysanne, they broke down and revealed the sextet's sexual escapades. The furious king and queen demanded answers from their daughter, who confessed everything, and offered to marry all 3 men in the traditional Valyrian custom. Jaehaerys, of course, had other ideas. He hastily married Jonah and Perianne together, wed Alice to a minor Vale lord, and exiled Red Roy across the Narrow Sea. But Stinger's punishment was far greater. King Jaehaerys decreed that Sir Braxton Beesbury should lose his tongue, nose, and genitals, and have all 4 limbs broken. Yet he allowed the young knight to invoke a trial by combat. Sir Braxton soon found himself facing not a Kingsguard knight, but Jaehaerys himself, armed with Blackfire. The king sliced at Stinger until he fell, and stabbed his Valyrian steel sword through the visor. Princess Sarah was forced to watch. She would later be sent to join the faith in Old Town, only to flee across the Narrow Sea and turn to a life of prostitution and procurement. At some point during the second half of Jaehaerys' reign, he named Lord Lyman Beesbury as his Master of Coin and Lord Treasurer. Lyman was born 16 years before Braxton, who had been the heir to Honeyholt,